everyone, welcome to RK Dewan and Company, a name synonymous with intellectual property rights with over 80 years of experience and specializing in patents, trademarks and more. We have here today Dr. Mohan Dewan, hello sir,
Hello.
and who is the principal of RK Dewan and Company starting 48 years of experience as of now. We welcome you sir aboard, and what are the specialities that you have?
Thank you, Ms. Khan, for asking me, and thank you, Ms. Khan, for being here today. As far as R.K. Dewan and Company is concerned, it was started by my father in 1942. As far as what we do is that we help and assist people in getting patents, trademarks, copyrights, and designs. In addition, we are also involved in litigation. We are also involved in commercialization of IP, monetization of IP, and much more as far as IP is concerned.
So let's start with the basics. Can you explain about trademarks specifically in relation to the Ayush industry?
Sure. Muskan, when it comes to trademarks, trademarks are the same thing as brand names. Brand names and trademarks go hand in hand. There are other issues like house marks. For example, Patanjali is a house mark in the Ayush space. There are various other marks that are used in respect of products or services. For example, the entire wellness industry is called service, and we have service marks for that.
Okay.
Right? So trademarks are the names with which these products and services are called by or referred to, and companies, entities use these names to identify themselves, to distinguish themselves from other service providers or other product sellers.
So why are trademarks particularly important in industries of the Ayush sector?
In the Ayush sector, products and services need to go through an entire process of regulation as far as approvals are concerned. And once they go through that process, you need to establish the product in the market space. You need to speak about it in the market space with a trademark, with a mark. They need to be known. So it's like even a wellness spa, for example. Start with a simple thing like a spa. The spa has to be known by a name. So you merely calling it the spa cannot be identified by a customer. So it will have to be called something spa, right? Now again, wellness. There are various kind of health programs, health issues that need to be branded, that need to be put across to customers, and basically even the retail trade or the trade as far as the businesses are concerned. So they need to be identified with a name. For example, let's say take Apollo Hospital. The minute you say Apollo Hospital, a picture of a chain of hospitals, respected chain of hospitals, comes to your mind. That several crores of rupees sometimes are spent in developing that particular name. So that as opposed to another hospital, you would go to Apollo Hospital because you trust it. So what brands create is a matter of trust between the service provider and the product supplier and the customer, or client, or patient. Essentially, it is the trust element that you trust brands. And customers tend to trust a particular brand because they've been used to getting good service, good cost, for example, pricing, and they know that that they would be treated well. That's what is important in the Ayush sector.
Correct, sir. Thank you so much. So we can just say that these are synonyms to a brand name, and also a goodwill is attached to it, right?
Yes. Goodwill is more like a legal term, but I would speak more like reputation.
Reputation,
I
correct.
would go. I would speak of reputation.
Correct.
Reputation is very important, and this entire industry, more than any other industry, is built on trust.
Correct.
And that is why when we speak of Ayush as an industry segment, as a business segment, or as a professional segment, you need to create some trust between the customer base, the retail base chain that is supplying that, and finally the entity that is providing the service or the product.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for that. So, there's a process by which we register a trademark in India, specifically for the Ayush sector. Can you run us through it?
The trademark registration process is fairly straightforward, and it is a process that is very similar all over the world. In each country, every country has its own process, and India falls in line with almost the registration process of every other country. There are a few differences, but I will just quickly share with you how to register a trademark. The first and foremost, and probably the aspect that is most neglected, is that before you even, as soon as you, the first thing is that a trademark. That's why it's called intellectual property. A name for a product, new business, new service comes in the mind. That is why it is intellectual. As soon as the word comes, a word or a logo or a device, trademarks can be words, trademarks can be devices, trademarks can be just a sort of initial of different types of, in different languages. For instance, LG is in the English language. You can have TTK, or you can have marks like Ghadi, or like Patanjali, or any of these other brands. So you can have, they come to the creator's mind. As soon as they come, the first step is to conduct a search through the records of the trademark registry, or conduct a search through the internet. There is the MCA site. There are different sites on which we can conduct these searches. Searches are inexpensive; they're almost free. But to have an opinion, a professional costs a small sum of money. And once the search, if once the search report is clear, then you apply for the trademark application at the trademark office and the IP office. In India, there are 5 IP offices, but nowadays the process is absolutely online.
Okay.
So it will automatically go to the office of choice. There is an office in Mumbai, which is the head office, then Calcutta, Delhi, Chennai, and Ahmedabad. So these are the 5 areas, and the states have pretty much been divided for in respect of these offices throughout the country. So you file the application. The application is examined through the records of the trademark registry very quickly. It takes about 10 to 15 days to examine a trademark. Thereafter, the applications are advertised. Anyone else can, once the examination process is over through the trademark registry, the application is then advertised. The mark is advertised in a trademark journal, which is published every Monday. So for there may be 4 or 5 Mondays in a month. The mark is published in the trademark journal. As soon as it is published in the trademark journal, it is open for anybody in the trade. It's not necessary. Any person can oppose that trademark.
Can you please walk us through the misconceptions, the major misconceptions that you have during the trademark or while registering the trademark or as per the trademarks?
All right. Muskan, what people forget that trademarks are territorial in nature. Let me explain that a little bit. People travel abroad, they go to the US or they go to China or Europe, and they see trademarks there. and they take a fancy to a particular word, and when they come back, they say, let's apply for or use that word that they see abroad for their businesses in the Ayush sector. It's a wellness sector or a spa or anything to do with health. And what happens is that immediately they start businesses with that name, not realizing that that mark is already, it may have been registered, it may have been used, it may have been known in India. Today there are e-commerce sites, there are other travelers who are traveling abroad, and therefore many of these international businesses protect their trademarks or register their trademarks in India. Now, when this other business, the person who had a fancy for this name, he uses that name and puts a lot of advertising and spends considerable amounts of money on that. When he launches his business, and sometimes it doesn't even happen at the time of launch of the business. Maybe a year down the line, he has built up the business, taken loans, and done all that activity. Immediately, the other person, the person who has registered the mark, the international owner of that business, takes action against the Indian businesses, and tragically, it has happened so often that it causes a lot of hardship to the Indian business owner. Had he just merely done a search, or he had conducted this an exercise of looking at the internet, looking at other activities in India, this he would not have fallen, he or she would not have fallen in this trap of trademark infringement. And they have to change the name. They may have to pay a royalty fee. They have to pay damages. They have to close down business activities, just because they did not do this basic exercise of searching. So that is one major misconception, which if through this program I'm able to share with new business owners or people who are intending to enter into new businesses.
So, what are the challenges which are faced by the industry, specifically in the Ayush sector, when it comes to the trademarks?
They are faced with a basic challenge because many of them deal with products. If there are, of course, products and services. So let's take products, for example. I'll take that sector first. Many of the products are based on natural products, like, for example, neem. Neem there is a whole range of products with neem. There are a whole range of products with different Ayurvedic preparations or different plants. Now, when they select brand names, they would like to take products based on to show to the world that the product contains these ingredients. Now, when you select ingredient-based products, the problem is that there are a whole lot of other manufacturers who are also using similar ingredient-based products. So there is a lot of conflict between these two types of products. Customers get confused because this contains neem, the other thing also contains neem. Now, I'm just giving you an example of neem. Though there is this aspect of customer confusion. The problem is that they are bootstrapped. They are not budgeting enough for trademark advertisement, for trademark publicity. So if they take a name that is meaningless, if they take a name like Kodak, for example, like Kodak took for cameras, if they take such a name, then the problem is that a lot of money has to be spent for publicity. That is why to immediately connect with customers, they with patients, they would take names which have some relevance to either a condition or names which relate to the ingredient. Now, here, this is a very crowded space. So the challenge is the crowded space in which which a new name has to be selected. And it's increasingly getting more and more crowded. So a selection of a brand is probably the most important make or break solution for somebody in the Ayush industry. They have to have a proper mark. It has to be somehow relating to an ingredient, but it must not directly say that. So that there has to be some level of intellect that goes into even selection of brands. That is the challenge. The selection of brands. Once you select a proper brand, I believe most industries would zoom exponentially.
So, let's now shift our focus to geographical indications. Can you just throw some light on the geographical indications as per the Ayush industry?
Geographical indications is a subset of trademarks. Geographical indications are extremely important to India because there is no other country in the world that has so many geographical indications. As far as geographical indications, for example, let's take a thing like Kolhapuri chappals, Kolhapuri associated with chappals, Mysore pak, Mysore sandal soap, or Indi limbu, lime. As far as Karnataka is concerned, there are a host of geographical indications that thrive in this state. When it comes to geographical indications, or let me explain what geographical indications are. Geographical indications are a product associated. Just think of it, a product associated with a particular state or a particular city. I just came to know yesterday, for example, there is a place called Ajrakpur, and Ajrak fabrics are a geographical indication of Ajrakpur. Now, Kota, for example, Kota is a type of fabric is associated with Kota. You have Banarsi silk, you have Mysore sandal soap. So these are people, Bikaneri safe, for example,
Yeah.
another example of
The black
geographical
cardamom can be an example for Sikkim.
for Sikkim.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And then coffee, for example, type of Mysore coffee, or Bene dosa, for example.
Yeah.
The type of idlis, Kanjipuram idlis, or these are or saris, for example, whatever it may be. Now this is what is a geographical indication.
That was a very interesting take on the GI, and a layman also can now understand GI indications now. So, why it is very important for the Ayush industry to take a GI registration or a GI indication?
It is not the industry as such, not a particular business that can take geographical indications. Trademarks can be taken by entities, by a particular individual. A geographical indication can only be taken by a group of consumers. So it is, for example, the Darjeeling Tea Association or the Kashmir Saffron Association. An association of producers have to get together to take that GI. So GI is granted to that association and not to a particular industry. Now, for example, these two examples that I gave you of Darjeeling tea or Kashmir saffron, it identifies the type of tea. The minute you speak of Darjeeling tea, you will know that it's a type of tea. It is a tea that does not need milk and sugar for a flavorful kind of drink, beverage. Now, similarly, Kashmir saffron is a type of saffron that would not be able to, that would give the color, would give the flavor. Once people identify a particular flavor, smell, and taste with a type of product. It's extremely important to have that connect and therefore protect it. Now, therefore, cannot take a seedling and move to for example Bangalore or Mysore and grow saffron and say that I'm selling Kashmir saffron. It has to be the Kashmir saffron has to be grown in Kashmir. Darjeeling tea has to be grown in Darjeeling, and therefore the geographical indication.
Yeah.
Right.
That makes it actually very clear and insightful after this conversation.
Thank you.
So, how can we relate to the challenges faced by the Ayush industry in obtaining the GI?
The problem is that most businesses act in isolation. So it is very difficult to get a group of producers, let us say Darjeeling tea manufacturers, to combine together, to come together and apply for that GI. They may be using that. They may be in that particular space. That is the primary challenge. In India, you cannot. It's very difficult for this group of industries. So people have tried. A lot of people have attempted, and that is the primary challenge. Secondly, we had this problem of in basmati. Basmati is grown in the Chenab area and in the Punjab area. But basmati is also grown across the border in Pakistan. Now you have these kind of conflicts. Now basmati rice, somebody can have a field of basmati rice in Rajasthan or in Haryana. Therefore, farmers who get together in Punjab and register basmati as a geographical indication, the Haryana farmers protest. So there are these kind of issues of when it comes to protecting of geographical indications. One is grouping together these Ayush industries, grouping together, and then the fact that there are some isolated cases of people outside that area also carrying out that same kind of business. So then there are these kind of conflicts which need to be resolved.
Makes sense. Yeah. I think even the viewers would be very happy listening to this kind of a conversation.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Dewan, for your insights on the GI. Can you also give some advice to the new entrepreneurs regarding GI and trademarks?
GI is a very difficult area for new entrepreneurs. As far as trademarks are concerned, I would say that they should select their trademarks, brand names very carefully. And as I said, and I repeat again and again, I would emphasize that searching is the key to a proper business development. Do not adopt a trademark without searching for that trademark first. And as quickly as possible, try and contact your attorney or whoever you have your expert, and let them apply for the trademark registration, protect it. Once that aspect is done, your business will fly.
That actually is a good amount of insight. I think the entrepreneurs listening to this would be very happy and insightful, and they may have a good knowledge about the GI and trademarks. Thank you so much, Dr. Dewan, for sharing your insights on this topic. It was actually insightful. Dear viewers, I hope you liked today's episode and you found it informative. So we will be coming back with another topic. Thank you so much for today.